Benjamin Nathaniel Reddick II here, the Violence Conductor. Here to talk to you guys a little bit about Thor, Ragnarok. Hearing a lot of opinions about this. Actually, hearing a lot of opinions about the DC and Marvel competition. I wanted to weigh in a little bit about what my opinion was on Thor. All our scalings out of 5 blades. Out of 5 blades, I give Thor 4 out of 5. Now, it's a pretty good movie. As far as the plot, storyline is concerned, it's a different take. When you watch the animation version of this, it's way less jokey. And that's probably the biggest thing that pops out about this version of Thor Ragnarok is that there is a tremendous amount of comedy. I'm assuming this had something to do with the overwhelming popularity of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a relatively unknown group of heroes, and due to the way it was handled, people are humongous fans of it. It's very family friendly, even though there's action, there's still death, there's still combat, but it's a pretty family friendly movie, and there's a tremendous amount of comedy to it, so everybody likes comedy. Thor is probably the most comedic Marvel movie I have seen thus far, outside of maybe the mirror comment and I think that was Thor number 2. Outside of that, it doesn't even come close to being this kind of funny. Thor was amazing. So I laughed way more than I thought I was gonna laugh. I came in there expecting, the horns of Valhalla. Thought Valkyrie was gonna do work. She did. She did do work. Showed up, did her thing. Tessa was, she was an interesting character. Actually, Tessa was very similar to what I kind of would have wanted Wonder Woman to be a little more like, just maybe a little less drunk. But outside of that, she's actually kind of what I thought maybe they were going to do with Wonder Woman, because it's kind of how she was in the Justice League War or whatever it was called. She was way more gung-ho to fight and way more into the warrior culture as far as just getting in there, punch people in the face and stab and stuff. It was pretty funny. It was good. This one had a crazy amount of diversity in it. Heimdall, of course, plays a major role, as he's played roles before, but he's a little more integral to the plot in this one. There's a lot more black people than I remember seeing in Asgard before. I have no idea how accurate. Pretty sure that's an inaccurate thing to have happening in Asgard, but really don't care. I like to see color on the screen, so that's all good for me. It had a fulfilling end. I appreciated it. There was some good twists and turns in that story. Again, if you know Norse mythology, all of this stuff is just throw all that out the window, because they ain't doing really hardly none of that anyways. People who were daughters of people are now cousins, and this person was like daddy, but now he's like a brother. There was a whole lot going on. As far as the stunts were concerned, people were getting slammed, dropped, thrown, good yanks, good pulls, a couple of good gags. I'm trying to think of anything that really stood out to me as far as a stunt that was concerned. Nothing. I probably would have given it, so for 4 out of 5 blades on this, 3 out of 5 blades in the story. As far as the stunts, I'd probably give it 3 out of 5 blades. It was all right. Wasn't anything really out of the ordinary. Again, if Mad Max is 5 out of 5 or Ong-Bak is a 5 out of 5, this is about 3.5. So it was good. People got laid down, slammed, thrown across the way, all that kind of stuff. So that stuff was all good. Nothing really out of the ordinary for a Marvel movie. Also, side note, Jeff Goldblum, amazing. I believe there was Matt Damon in there. That was crazy. And I think I saw, was it Tara Mackin was in there, and Zoe Bell. So, I love seeing, stunt people out there doing things, making those moves. Fantastic, moving the culture along. Appreciate y'all putting in work, especially the ladies representing out there. That's not necessarily a rare thing in the professional area, but they don't get highlighted enough. So we really enjoy seeing the ladies out there punching people in the mouth, elbowing folks in the head, kicking stuff, cutting things. You know how that goes. Chasing, kicking, stabbing, and jabbing. Hands. There was a lot of fighting in this movie. Now, I know we talked about there having like comedy in here, but there was a tremendous amount of combat. The Hulk, just amazing all the time. I don't know if you can see over there, but there's actually like Hulk gloves in the house, because that's one of my favorite characters, because he just gets it in and punches people in the face. He was in there just smashing stuff. The version of the Hulk they had in this was cool. Now, this is not World War Hulk. They don't have that one. They don't have this ain't Scar. he's not as intelligent as Scar. So it's a little different, and it's a different take. And it kind of reminded me of like the Ninja Turtles in a way. When I was looking at them, I kind of saw a lot of Michelangelo kind of happen in there. It was interesting. It was still pretty good. I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a different take on the Hulk as far as how he actually happened, how that stuff actually works in the Marvel universe for the World War situation set up. This is not the same. So they're changing the stories, but I don't think it was necessarily a bad change. They still had Korg and still had Meek and all that stuff, but I don't think they're going to be playing the same role they played before. The woman he married, I forget her name. So there's no Hulk son and all that stuff. I don't think that stuff's going to be coming out anytime soon unless they're going to, I don't know how they could pull that off. I don't know how they could go back and pull that off. But it was great. Their fight was awesome. There was a lot of brawling. There's a specific scene I really, really enjoyed where Valkyrie and Thor are doing what Valkyrie and Thor should do. They're jumping on spaceships or jumping on ships, doing crazy stuff that no one would ever do in anything. It seems to be a thread in Marvel. Jumping on moving vehicles with abandoned. Black Panther does it a lot in his trailers. So it just seems like that's a thing that they just enjoy doing. Having people jump on vehicles is just like a hallmark of Marvel stuff. Through hands, they were fighting like they were supposed to. I can't exactly tell how strong people are, which is kind of weird, but whatever. I mean, it seems like it fluctuates a bit, and I don't want to give away too many spoils, but Thor kind of turns into a different Thor. I don't know how to tell y'all that without spoiling it. All I'm saying is that there's some interesting revelations once he gets that hammer. Once Mjolnir is no longer in play, you get some interesting revelations about Thor. I think Marvel is doing a really good job when it comes to trying to make the pieces fit in their cinematic universe, which is a little less dark than probably the real comics are and a little more playful, but at the same time of doing that, trying to make the story be somewhat cohesive, not forgetting that previous movies happened, which is a pet peeve of us at Ballistic Blades. Like if you had an argument and didn't like me in a previous movie, that should carry over into the next one. So they, in my opinion, have done a pretty good job of that. Of course, you don't get to see Silver Surfer. It sucks. You don't see Beta Ray Bill, nothing like that. But I think there was a sculpture of Beta Ray Bill in the arena. I'm not sure. Anyways, I would give it about 4.5 out of 5 as far as the combat is concerned, because you had gladiator combat, you had Thor doing Thor regular combat, you had the Hulk smashing. I mean, he was fighting Fenrir, dude. That's dope. Like that's the Wolf of Ragnarok, and he hit it like, you know. Anyways, on a side note on plot, as far as plot's concerned, Tom Middleton is probably my favorite dude. I've never been a fan of Loki. That dude is phenomenal. The entire film. He is money in the bank. I would watch a movie about Loki and just him. Hero, anti-hero, villain, don't care. I'd watch anything with Loki because that dude, he's still in the show. Like he's giving up gold. Chris also did work. I did find it entertaining. There was one section where he just like got his shirt off and he's doing something, and I'm like, this dude just like hit the gym. He pulled a McConaughey and he was like, hey, director, I think this would be a good time for me to take my shirt off. And so it's literally just a flex fest for him for like 2 minutes or whatever. He's just walking around being yoked. Look at me, I'm yoked. I'm super yoked. Look at these muscles. Is that a tricep? Is that a bicep? No, this is new muscle. Flex. It was an interesting situation, and I really enjoyed the movie. I know some people didn't really like it. Some DC fans had some issues with it. It was one too dark, etc. Valid argument. I tend to disagree. I think this had purpose. It was good, and I really enjoyed it. So again, if I had to give it an overall score, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 blades because it was pretty amazing. Hey guys, just side note, that's my opinion of Thor. I'm coming to you guys from the LA Hollywood offices of Ballistic Blade Entertainment. Ballistic Conductor is out here doing this thing, trying to make this thing grow. I just visited the American film market. I'm trying to do some things that are bigger like that. I want to tell you guys, especially our Patreon supporters, we really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate what you do for us and what you're doing to help us move forward as an organization. Couldn't do without you guys. A low budget filmmaking at its finest. Really appreciate y'all. Continue to support, like, watch, share. We're on Patreon. Follow us on YouTube. Support on Patreon. Follow us on YouTube. Do both of those things. They're not mutually exclusive. Work those out together. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Keep fighting.